And welcome everyone. Hello. Welcome to the Sept of Shadows by Firelight. Tonight I want to talk about game design for a minute there. You have many possible approaches, right, when you're designing a game. And sure, you can't universally say that one method is better than the other, right? However, it's usually widely considered better, to go towards immersion, unless you're trying to make a game that's completely wacky. Like, Goat Simulator is not meant to be realistic or immersive, right? And recently I've been playing a game that has hunting mechanics in it. Actually several games with hunting mechanics in them, and pretty much all of them have one thing in common that is really starting to annoy me. And that is how they treat hunting as this completely unrealistic thing where you're just gonna go in the woods, you're gonna kill 52 animals, then go back in town and not even have enough food for whatever goal you were going out. Like, I personally have never hunted in my life. And even I know, because I've had people in my family who hunt, and in one of my ex's family who hunt. And I distinctly remember the news, like, coming into the dinner table, like, oh yeah, that person, that hunter, managed to kill this year, so we're gonna have food and everyone's happy, right? It wasn't even sure that despite spending days in the forest, they would kill even once. But they did. They got this one deer, this one thing, and awesome! We're gonna get so much meat, and we're gonna get so much stuff to craft with one single creature. Enter Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which I've actually had the real pleasure, it's actually a damn good game, I've had the real pleasure of playing some of it in the past couple of weeks. Whenever I get sick of working on the book and I want to take some time for myself, these days I boot up Assassin's Creed, which is really unwise, and I'm freaking exhausted, and it's completely my fault, because I boot the game in like 10. When I should be going to bed, I boot the game and I play until midnight and a half, and 2 a.m. during the weekend. Because it's just a damn good game, right? It keeps me up at night, and it's a bad thing. But that's on me. But the thing is, I have slaughtered probably half of England's population of bunnies in this game since I've been playing, and I still don't have enough bunny paws to give to the person in my village who takes these things that I hunt and makes items out of them. And I'm just like, how? Seriously, how? Why can't games do... I'm not saying like every single creature should be a big deal, but I should have at least a bunny leg on a buddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should, at the very least, in my mind, never not have something interesting to loot if you actually succeed at doing a kill. Especially if you're killing a bear, for example. It's a tough fight. You stay on a distance, you manage to headshot it, you have to do that like 3 or 4 times depending on your level, because these are really tough motherfuckers and they don't go down easy, and you go to loot it and you just get your arrows back. There was nothing on the bear. Like, it's a huge fucking bear! You're gonna tell me there's no meat on that? There's no, like... There's no fur, there's no pelt, there's nothing? I get nothing? That makes zero sense to me. Hey Nomad, hi. So, I'm just like, comparing to a game like Hades. I know I'm jumping places tonight, but I swear there's a point there. Hades is a game that has a whole bunch of economic units, essentially. I don't remember what they are because it's been over a year since I played the game, if not even 2. I don't remember, but it's been a while. I played when it came out on Switch. And you've got 7 or 8 different kinds of... You've got diamonds, you've got blood thingies, Titan's blood or something like that. You've got a whole bunch of them, right? And all of them are useful to different things. Whenever you do a dive, usually you're preparing for a particular kind of item you're hunting for when you're doing your dive because you're trying to unlock something. And you may not get what you're looking for, but you're always rewarded. You've always got this dopamine, high level of dopamine, because you're always going to get at least something. And the way the game is built, everything is always useful. Nothing is ever wasted. Like, if it's not what you're looking for, that's fine. These diamonds you got and you don't need anymore, you can exchange them to another kind of currency, and that one you can exchange for something that you were actually looking for. Whatever you're doing, you're never wasting your time, and you're always making progress. Even if it's a little slow, you're always making some kind of progress towards something. Not so hunting mechanics in a lot of games. And I'm talking Icarus a little bit, but very, very much Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I have no idea how many heirs I've killed, how many wolves I've killed, how many animals I've just slaughtered in my path for them not to have anything useful on them. It's such a freaking downer. I'm like, not even interested in hunting anymore at all. I'm just like, it feels like a complete waste of time, because you spend time looking for them, you put traps, or you prepare, you plan for this, and then you make a bunch of kills and you got nothing for it. Please, for the love of God, put your fucking drops all the time on every creatures. At least make every kill worth my investment. I'm not saying put 22 hare's leg on a freaking hare. I'm not even saying put 4 of them. Like, I may have damaged a leg, fine, this one's unredeemable, but at least give me 1 or 2, and don't compensate by asking me like for 74 instead of 10 legs. It's okay to allow a player to go spend like half an hour hunting bunnies and be done with bunnies. It's okay. That was already half an hour of that player's life. Respect that player's time, please. Yeah. So, in other words, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is really fucking good. Seriously, it's bad for my health how good it is. But gods, please, if anyone listening is working on that game and has a power of patching the game or something, please, fucking fix your hunting mechanics. Please. Every bear should have a pelt. Every bunny should have a leg. That's it. Eivor is killing these things with a bow, not flippin' dynamite. There should be something left to use when we're done. That's it. That's a tweet. Thank you for saying. I hope you had a good time tonight. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We're actually going to start the game very soon, which is, of course, Alan Wake Remastered. We've been playing that for a couple of weeks. We should have actually been done already. But last week I was quite a bit under the weather. I had my 3rd shot for COVID, and it took me a bit out of it for a couple of days. Mainly what happened is it completely effed up my digestion, which, if you've been listening to this stream, you know my digestion is already terrible and at the best of times, and it was one of the worst times in my life in terms of having digestive issues right after the shot. So that was no fun at all. I had to start a treatment to counteract that, which is something I usually do in the summer about once a year. I start taking something called pantoprazole, which essentially kind of fixes my stomach, so it stops producing way too much acid and essentially burns me up from the inside. It stops doing that, which is a good thing. So I started early this year. I've been on that since the 10th, I want to say, so it's been about 4 days or something. And I feel so much better. It's been a huge relief. It's just kind of sad that I had to accelerate my plans on starting that treatment, but at least I feel good now, so that's a win. I'll take it. Which takes us to this week. It should be the last time. So far, we've been doing about a chapter and a half per night. So I'm hopeful, since we're in the last chapter, chapter 6, that tonight we should finish Alan Wake. The reason why that makes me happy is not that the game is bad. It's awesome, and I'm having a blast. It's just that next game is going to be Control, which I'm really looking forward to. I really want to share with all of you. I think you are all going to enjoy that quite a bit. I know some of you just listen in background or something like that, but I'm serious here. Consider literally sitting in front of the TV if you can afford it, and just watching the game when we start Control, because there's a lot of lore, really a lot of lore. Okay, damn. All right, we'll get back to that. I'm just gonna finish this. There's a lot of lore, and it might be a bit difficult to follow. So please consider just, maybe really watching. Not necessarily. You can do other. Obviously, you're an adult. Do what you want. I'm just saying it's a good game, and you may want to focus on it. Essentially, afterwards, that's your choice. I'm just saying it'll be worth your while if you do. It's really, really a cool game. And not just, cutscenes, literally like every fight are cool. There's always something new to discover. The level design will blow your mind, I guarantee it. Just some quantum physics, extra dimensional shit going on like all the time. There's so many surprises around every bend and every corner. It will be worth your while if you choose to sit, literally focus on the stream, and yeah. But I understand some of you, for example, are having class at the same time. I perfectly understand that you can't. It's just real sad, actually. But I do understand. It's cool. It's sad that you might miss some random really cool thing from another world popping up. But yeah, life is life. Now, sadly, apparently Terraria is having a hard time right now. I'm really sorry to hear that. Wish there was something I could do. But losing 200 gigs of data, that is not cool, man. That fucking sucks. I really hope it wasn't precious data. Really hope so. Yeah. That said, I assume you're saying that because you won't be watching the stream tonight, if I understand, so... Or you're just maybe saying that you won't be too positive or something. Either way, it's fine. If you can't stay, if you don't want to stay, I get it. And if you're a little grumpy tonight, I know, so that's perfectly fine. I will take that into account. Thanks for warning me. Either way, I understand, and we're completely cool, buddy. All right, so it was books you can download again. That's, at least there's that. That's nice. But still, it looks like you're gonna have to buy a new one, or do you think you'll be able to fix it or not? I've been so out of the loop for decades in computers, and I have one and it works, and yay, I'm happy. But I used to be good at fixing computers, and nowadays I'm just like, what you talking about, son? I feel like I'm 80 years old sometimes. Completely out of the loop, computer-wise. I used to know what I was talking about in the 90s. Yeah. No, we are not playing with a remote. We are playing with keyboard and mouse. Okay, I'm just going to put my phone there. Usually it's not in the room with me because I don't want it to bother me while I'm streaming, but I forgot tonight, so I do apologize if my phone rings or something like that. I'm really sorry. I'm going to try to ignore it. Was there something else I wanted to discuss? Yes, just a little bit. I can't say much, but a little bit. I submitted my part in the book. That's it. It's out there. I submitted it Saturday. It's first draft, so a lot can happen. I can't talk about it, but at least it's out there, and I'm happy about that. The reason why I'm mentioning it is because what's going to happen is I'm taking about a week off, like not from work, obviously. I'm still working, but I'm not going to be spending time on any projects. I'm taking a break to relax this week, and I'm going to spend my entire weekend on the new Horizon because I fucking loved Horizon Zero Dawn. It's not even funny how much that game was built for me. And the new one, Forbidden West, is coming out on Friday. So I'm going to be spending every waking hour, me and my girlfriend actually, she's just as much as a fan as I am, we're both going to be spending the entire weekend playing that game. So this is a thing, and oh my fucking god, looking forward to it so damn much. So yeah, I guess we're geeks because that'll be our Valentine kind of celebration thing. It's just me, her, Horizon, complete total weekend, like phones off, just nothing bothering. It's fully focused on our favorite game just releasing. So that should be quite a weekend. But after that, I should have about a week or two where I'm gonna have some free time, and I'll be able to finish working on the lore videos and get those started to release if I have time to finish all of them before my red lines come in. I have no idea what my schedule is going to look like when red lines come in. Those are going to be my first red lines ever. So I'm going to try to get the lore videos out before the red lines come in. If I can't, it may mean the videos are only going to start in April. I don't know. I'm going to try to start before that, but we'll see. So, only thing lost was all Pathfinder books, but I got those from a friend and didn't own, so I'm not complaining about that too much. And some games saved. Do you mean, like for example, like your Diablo 2 saves or something like that? Is that what you mean? Because that would suck horribly, like losing your progress. Old games you haven't been playing it for a while, I guess isn't that bad, but like, I would be freaking pissed, for example, if I lost my Valhalla saves, like, I don't know, 30 hours into the game or something like that. That would suck. I would be so mad. And Nomad saying, "You're geeks, I'm not," which is a running gag between him and all of his friends because he's totally a geek, but he's in denial and won't accept that he's a geek. But he's totally a geek. Oh, it still sucks, but at least backups. So I assume you still have the originals.
In one of my finer moments of self-deception, I swore to quit drinking.
Okay, so we're actually no, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. Quit the menu. We're gonna watch last time because I'm honestly a bit lost. We skipped a week and it shows. Oh, you don't have the originals. Oh, that fucking sucks. Are the servers still available? Could you re-back them up? Because I've lost Minecraft shit that I spent hours working on, and that hurts, man. I feel that. So previously on Alan Wake episode 6.
Previously on Alan Wake, I wrote a horror story that has come true. Thomas Zane did the same in the 70s.
You will go no further.
If I continue like the Dark Presence wants me to, the story I'm writing won't save Alice. It's a horror story. No one will survive.
You knew Zane! Thomas Zane! You're the Lady of the Light in the song!
He left something behind to help me. The clicker.
Alan thought of this as he stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, the clicker in his hand. He took a deep breath and jumped.
I can get to her now. I can finish this.
Okay, and now this one. That's 2 2 years ago. Okay. Wow, yeah, that was short. By the way, I mean nothing bad by it. Like me and Nomad, I've had this banter before. This "you're absolutely a geek" thing. It's been going on for years, so no worries. I'm sure he knew for a fact I was going to say exactly that as soon as he typed it, so we're good.
In one of my finer moments of self-deception, I swore to quit drinking.
Yeah, I hear that, man. I really do. Like, it's what I tell myself too. Like, it's fine. I'll probably never boot Minecraft ever
The sunglasses
again.
made the world look bearable. Now I could keep my eyes open without feeling like a vampire in the sun.
I get it, but
I wasn't sure I'd make it out there without some painkillers.
won't even open. Fine. But I hear you. We're the same on that part. It's like, it's reassuring to have the possibility, and it really sucks to no longer have it.
Pills worked fast. The prospect of being awake started to seem bearable again.
Those pills work real fast. Someone who has frequent headaches / migraines, I guarantee you it doesn't
There was a
work that
message
quickly.
waiting for me on the machine.
Yes, but first, let's see if we have coffee somewhere. I guess reassuring is not the right word, but I hope you get what I mean. It's like comforting. No, it's not comforting either. I guess the best word is just going to be simply nice. It's nice to know we have the possibility, because even though we're not going to go back, it's still something that we invested into, and it's still there. It's still available, and now it's just gone. I get it.
You have one new message.
Al! Are you still asleep? Wakey, wakey! You should have your show on your TiVo. If Alice wasn't too mad to record it. Yeah, she called me earlier and really chewed me out. Yeah, we went a little overboard last night. But parties are a part of this business. Al, look, I'm saying this as your friend. She's not doing your career any favors by trying to run your life like that, okay? I'll talk to you later, Al. Watch the show.
Well, forgive me, buddy, for, having a life and a wife.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Harry Garrett Show.
Ooh, damn, new computer.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you, everybody. We have a great show tonight. I've been talking with the best-selling author Alan Wake about his new book, The Sudden Stop.
Yeah, good read. Go buy it.
No, it is a good read. Look, I'm gonna be honest here.
Is that wise?
Really, I have to
No,
keep
but I'm
pressing
gonna do it
okay.
anyway. I got people who give me the lowdown on books. I'm a busy guy. But this one, I actually read from cover to cover. I mean, I'm a big fan.
Wow, thanks.
Now, this might be a spoiler for those who haven't read the book yet. Based on the sales figures, the 2 people out there who haven't read the book yet. But this last book is all about the death of the main character, the hard-boiled New York detective, Alex Casey. Now, there's been a lot of outrage about this. Why the hell did you kill Casey? What the hell were you thinking, man?
Good riddance. No, seriously, though. 7 years and 6 books is a long time. He was a gloomy guy to spend all your working hours with, and it was a good run. But it's time to explore new things. My next book will be a departure from the old for me.
You selfish bastard, always thinking of yourself. Well, you've certainly given us a lot of entertainment over the years. And now that you mention it, Casey was a gloomy guy. Never had much luck with his love life with the ladies. Was that autobiographical in any way?
Yeah, no kidding. Casey's lady friends tended to die on him. With Casey, it was all about his pain. No, Nothing autobiographical about that. I'm a happily married man. My wife is my muse.
Well, congratulations. That's great to hear. So, how's the publicity tour been treating you?
Good? Great. But I gotta say, I'm glad to be back home in New York.
Well, you've certainly been on the news a lot lately. Lots of parties and, you got into a fight with some paparazzi.
Oh, man. Well, that guy was really in my face. I lost my temper. I know that wasn't cool.
You are famous for that temper.
Well, I did also write several books.
Well, your latest novel is called The Sudden Stop, and it's in bookstores now. Go get it. That means the two of you out there who haven't bought it yet. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have for you tonight. I want to thank all our guests for the evening. Alan Wake, Sam Lake. Once more, do the face for us, Sam. There it is. And our musical guests, Poets of the Fall. Thank you, and good night.
At least I'd been funny. I told myself I could live with that.
Hey, honey. Did you watch the show?
I didn't say anything stupid if that's what you want to know.
Okay, Grumpy. You want an aspirin or something?
Are you gonna start with me about drinking now?
You know what? Go back to sleep, Alan.
Sorry, I'm trying to... I can't talk over the cutscenes, and I'm just...
What?
I just want to catch up with chat,
Well,
but I
this
can't.
morning I was angry because you said you'd be home at midnight and you showed up at 7 a.m. and passed out in mid-sentence. Now I'm over it. Are you angry?
This goddamn tour. It's gotten out of hand.
Oh, honey. It's almost over, right? We can get back to normal. Then you can start writing again.
I'm sorry, honey.
Alan, you're not thinking straight. Just take a shower and go back to bed, huh?
Yeah, you're right, honey. I'm sorry. Once this is over, let's go away together. A vacation. Just you and me. Some peace and quiet.
Once this is over, let's go on a vacation. That was 2 years ago. That tour was very, very long.
Somehow, the clicker was the key to the cabin. I had to return to Cauldron Lake to save Alice. I'm going back to the lake to finish this. I'm going to write an ending to the story in the manuscript on my own terms, to make it all right.
Why can't you just write it here?
The last page is still in the typewriter. I need to read it first. Everything needs to be just right. Zane tried to cut some corners, and it didn't end well.
Okay, ready when you are.
I'm sorry, Sarah, but I need to do this alone. Barry, take her gun. Miss Weaver, close the door when I leave.
Goddamn, I need to do this alone trope. Fuck that shit. Bring Sarah, she was useful.
Good luck, Al.
See you later. When I got out, it was warm and sunny. I'd flicked the switch of the clicker. Had it done this? I didn't stop to question it. I had to take advantage of the sunlight to get to the lake. On Zane's page, I'd stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, about to use the clicker. That's where I was headed.
Sure, but I mean, it's an overused trope that rarely makes sense. I mean, sometimes it does, but it's tired. It's really tired. Then again, this game's like 10 to 15 years old,
Alone,
so it was less tired.
in daylight, surrounded by the beauty of the Pacific Northwest landscape. It was
Coffee!
hard not to let doubt creep in one last time. I could still chalk everything up to a dream, a delusion. I had enough imagination to make up something like this, having been in the cabin all this time, trapped in a story inside my head, gone mad from grief over Alice's death like Hartman had claimed. There would be no way of knowing. I told myself it didn't really matter. My course was set.
Gotta wonder why we came unarmed. Like, we didn't fall off a helicopter this time, or nothing. Why are we just bringing like 3 flashbangs and 18 bullets? There might be something down there, but I don't care. Alright, let's catch up. So, Nomad was happy because he is now on his new machine. We've been talking for a couple of days / weeks about the fact that he just bought this new gaming monster, and apparently he's using it now, so I'm pretty happy about it. I know this new beast, well, it's not new anymore, it's about a year old, but it really made my day when we got it. I don't know if y'all remembered or if you were there back then, but were we mid-game when we switched? I don't remember, but really made a difference. And Terraria said, it doesn't help that my mental state is going downhill to do a lot of the mix of this and being single on Valentine, right? During the one time a month I get to be a player in Taylor Liberty this month and a lot of our small stuff. It's just, yeah, no, I feel that. I will keep the talk of the weekend playing Horizon to a minimum. Like, no, I hear that. I didn't think about that when I started mentioning that. I really do apologize. I hope that didn't put a downer on you over what was already there. I think we're gonna have to crash a car. Oh, sorry, I mean drive. This one I did not put together. Barely opened it to add some part. Oh. Alright. And have you tried bushing it a little bit? What have you tried booting with it? Just to see like how hard it'll allow itself to be pushed, out of curiosity. No, it's not letting me copy over stuff unless I do as admin. Yeah, done for the day for sure. Sounds like you're done, or you should be done. You've had a week, from what I can see, or at least a serious couple of days. You deserve that break. Did I keep my Sting? Oh, storytelling notes on Google Drive. Yeah, I do that too. It's a lot safer for sure. Yes, not doing it yourself is like one of the first tropes. It was in the Odyssey, Torah, Epic of Gilgamesh. We can talk about that, it's fine. You're right, actually. You're very right. That just makes it even more tired, though. But yeah, no, it's been in a lot of epics for sure, and I suppose it deserves some recognition based on that. Still, I'd rather it happened organically. Like, for example, we were with Sarah and Barry for a bit, then there was the helicopter thing, we got separated. That's better than them like going, okay, we're ready, we're going, and the characters just like, oh no, I have to do this alone. Like, why? Or at least like don't use that as the reason. Like, genuinely Alan Wake isn't he's a target, as in the darkness wants to capture him, but technically she's not trying to kill him, right? Whereas she's not going to hesitate killing Barry or Sarah. Use that as an answer, as a reason, like, it won't be safe for you, at least me she's not trying to kill, something like that. Then that'll make actual sense. That I can get behind as a reason to go alone. I have to game running at the same time plus you streaming. All right, cool. Okay, seems like a good spot to get more weapons. I think we need to stock up while it's day. And you'll notice, I mean, you might not notice because you're not controlling, but if I'm pressing the right button here, nothing happens. He's not even carrying his flashlight right now because it's daytime. It's the first time I realized I can't use my flashlight during the day. And that makes complete sense, but it also means I can't see the yellow paint telling me where the secrets are. Not trying a big game. All right. Well, let me know when you do. Still pretty good that you can stream while playing 2 games at the same time. I mean, unless you're playing solitaire while I'm streaming, you know. Alright, seems like we've looted everything we could from here. We got a shotgun, that's already good. Oh, right, let me switch guns first. Yeah. Because he got the flares again, which we don't want. Seriously, you're gonna make me stop every 5 seconds because there's a new building to loot shit from. Bit anticlimactic for your last chapter, Mr. Wake. But hey, there was coffee, like completely worth it, as I'm sure Stanel will agree. Somewhere in the background, listening to some person giving her a class somewhere. Really? All that for coffee? Sure. I'll take it. Zomboid 41. What's 41? And Raid Shadow Legend. Yeah, okay. Yeah, those are indeed smallish. Still good that they're running, you know, at the same time at the stream, but I think a lot of computers would most likely be able to handle that. Can I? Oh, this I can. Okay. But I can't bring the car anymore.
The darkness had touched me. There was a link between us. Always would be. I could feel its presence again, getting closer.
Can I? Nope. Okay. Oh, doing an exam. Alright. I would wish her luck, but she wouldn't hear.
I will kill your wife.
And suddenly nighttime. That's pretty cool though. Like, it was day because he used the clicker from what I understood. Or at least it was heavily implied that it was only day because I used the clicker. And as soon as I went somewhere dark, boom, the darkness takes over.
The dark
and
presence was no
night.
longer trying to capture the writer so he could create the ending it wanted. The writer knew too much. He was too strong. And he carried a weapon left behind by Thomas Zane, something that could hurt it. Now, the darkness was doing everything in its power to simply stop the writer from ever reaching Cauldron Lake and the dark place it came from.
Okay, well, you know what I said about the darkness not trying to kill us? Yeah. Let's forget everything about that, shall we? And to be fair, it was doing a crappy job of not trying to kill us since the game started. Really? It's resourcing? Seriously? Okay. I mean, then again, like, frippin' Minecraft is resource expensive, so why not? Why not? Hello, Void! I'm taking the care for school. Good old time. That makes sense. It's perfectly fine. I get it. Good old times. What? Good. What? Did I mention something that was? I'm confused. But yeah, good old times. Maybe. Maybe the clicker just makes you fall asleep until nighttime and he doesn't remember. Yeah, that could be. That would be a very lame power, though. But then again, you know. Hey, buddy. I would use that. Like, I have trouble falling asleep. If you gave me like a thing that's just gonna make me sleep, like, I'd use the fuck out of that. Okay. Good enough. I know y'all are angry. Yeah, y'all are bad folks. That's fine. Mean mofos, a lot of y'all. That's fine. There you go. The zombies feel listened to. They feel validated. Did I call them zombies? Anyway, you know what I mean. Good old times of darkness, not trying to kill. Yeah. You remember? An hour ago? Those were good times. 100 zombies loaded at once. Right. Plus physics basics. I didn't even know it was... I never played Zomboid, to be clear. I just know it as a top-down view kind of game. So usually not super resource intensive. But yeah, no, that makes sense. If it's handling physics, doesn't really matter what the perspective is. Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Speaking of good times, I have not had a good time this week. In the past couple of weeks, and I couldn't discuss these things with y'all because we missed the stream last week. But I watched the new Matrix movie, and wait, is that? Do I have the rifle? Oh yeah, I have the rifle, not the shotgun. Okay, I'm keeping that. The rifle is better. It was
Based on the
not
signature
great.
in the motel register, Agent Nightingale had stayed here, in room number 2.
Ooh. Room number 2. Let's go check that. It did a couple of things really cool. But like for me, okay. So martial arts and cool choreography is an integral part of the DNA of the Matrix movies. And this movie does not have that. Most of what Matrix does, Neo does in the fights is like force push, like he's a freaking Jedi. And that's pretty much his only move throughout the entire movie. That's just like, ugh. I liked about 75% of the movie. Like, I enjoyed the meta aspect of it. That was brilliant. I enjoyed all the callbacks. That was brilliant. I didn't like the ending. I like one thing about the ending that has to do with Trinity, and I'm not going to talk about because I don't want to spoil, but that was pretty cool. But there is a certain point in the movie where everything stops making sense. I can't explain it because I don't want to spoil it, but let's just say the motivations of certain characters should align and they should be allies, and they literally spend like 2 minutes telling each other, we've got these things happening, we should team up, so obviously we have to kill each other. That's literally what the conversation goes like, and I'm just like, huh? No. Team up. There's zero reason to fight, except there was probably some executive somewhere who said, oh yeah, there needs to be a fight here. You've been talking too long. Let's start a battle. And it's just like, makes zero sense. And the battle is not interesting. It's terrible. And one of the two villains, I can't go into too many details about it, but let's just say it's an old character coming back and really does not feel like the old character, like, at all. That's not great. Yeah. A lot of things make zero sense in the ending. So it was amazing until that conversation, and everything after that is just made no sense to me. But the last couple of frames, the last thing they did with Trinity, that's awesome. And everything that happened before that conversation, that was awesome. Another movie I watched that was terrible is Halloween Kills. If you watched Halloween 2018, do yourself a favor, and you liked it, do yourself a favor, do not watch the sequel. Halloween 2018 was a fresh coat of paint that the license, the property really needed. It's let's pick up let's ignore all the sequels after the first one, like all of them. Let's just do a direct sequel to the original, but in today's time. So we get to spend time with the survivors. We get to spend time with Laurie Strode 30 or 40 years later or something. See what kind of woman she became, what kind of mother she became, like what her life looked like throughout these decades. And that was super interesting. As a character study, that was super interesting. They took time to go on the psychological side. It was interesting. The sequel, oh my god. The sequel is so bad. Like, literally, I can only describe people dying in this game due to supernatural levels of incompetence. It's ridiculous how much everyone is completely dumb and literally do everything in their power to make sure they will not hurt Michael Myers and that they will be killed. It's one after the other. It's so painful to watch. The pitch meeting, however, was amazing. Except they kind of took back what they did with Trinity with the after credit scene. Wait, what? Did I watch that? After credit scene. Did I watch that? Damn it. I may not have. Oh, it sucks if they take that back. Damn it. Yeah, no, it shows she didn't really want to do it. But she kind of did too, but it also apparently didn't. But, I mean, half the movie is about not wanting to make the movie, which is so amazing. Seriously. The meta aspect of Matrix Resurrected is amazeballs. Seriously, I mean it. 75% of the movie is great. Fights suck. And the endings and the motivation, and essentially the fights suck and the villains suck. But most of the movie's awesome. A movie I did watch though, literally yesterday, and I had amazing time with because movie theaters are back, baby, was the new Spider-Man. Holy fuck, is it good? If you haven't seen it yet, I mean, whether or not you've seen it, I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to spoil it. There's a lot to spoil in this one. But here's what I'm going to say. It's at least on par with Endgame. Both movies are about celebrating decades of cinema, decades of movies that came before them, and giving a payout to a lot of little subtle things that came along the way, along each of the movies. And holy fuck, do they succeed. They both reach surprising levels of emotional engagement and hitting you right in the feels, right? If you've seen Endgame, you know what I'm talking about in terms of like, let's just say I'm Iron Man, and you know what I'm talking about, right? It's just holy fuck. And the new Spider-Man does a lot of stuff too like that in the same vein, and in terms of punching you in the gut emotionally, and not in ways you would necessarily expect. And if you know the movies that they are referencing, so many things hit so hard on the emotional level with some surprisingly good performances on the part of actors that I did not expect them to be this good. Holy heck. Seriously, holy heck, was that worth my while? I'm glad I didn't see it when it was released, to be honest. I'm glad because for some reason it seems like the wait made it more meaningful, and it was so worth the wait. Holy fuck. I still need to watch that. Which one? Do you mean Halloween or do you mean Spider-Man? Because if you mean Spider-Man, knowing you, yeah, watch that. Like, you like Marvel more than me, and you know the MCU more than me. Watch that. What are you doing watching the stream? Like, you have my permission to stop and go watch Spider-Man. It's just that good. Didn't explore the hybrid character like at all. DM'd you on Discord. Okay, I'm gonna check that later though, because I'm on stream, and if we're not gonna bring it on the stream, I'm not gonna, stop streaming just to go watch on. Oh, or unless you mean because you're trying not to spoil something. Okay, I guess I can take 3 little seconds to check. Right, watching it. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay, no. Oh, yeah, I think I see what you mean. Yeah. Right, I forgot they kind of did that originally, though. So, yeah, I didn't realize that bit. In retrospect, yeah, I agree, though. That sucks. Sorry for being vague, everyone. I can't be more specific without spoiling anything.
This had obviously been the room where Agent Nightingale had stayed when he hadn't been busy harassing me.
Ooh, flashbacks. Why do I get the feeling I'm gonna have a showdown with Nightingale?
Look after yourself and your co-workers.
Could have fooled me, pal.
It's kind of weird though. Like, all the hotel rooms are locked, but not Nightingale's. I guess angry mofos never lock their doors or something. How's that supposed to make any kind of sense? Guess it may not. Oh, you want me to make my car jump? Really? You want me to? Okay. If you insist, Mr. Wake, I'm gonna do it. Don't think I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, no, it's definitely valid to want to watch. I'm gonna switch cars actually. This one's almost dead because a couple of dudes bashed it with knives, so obviously it's almost destroyed. And fuming and everything. No, we took a chance going to theaters. If I'm being honest about it. We paid attention to how many people were in the theater with us, like, because we reserved our spots, so we were able to have a vague idea of how filled the room was going to be and that kind of thing. So we purposefully chose a showing that would have very few people in the room with us. Car's not coming with me. And I guess I have to go around then. One thing I am not going to miss is Alan's complete lack of stamina. I don't have a lot of stamina myself, but I dare say I have a little bit more than he does. Okay, y'all, but I'm trying to look. I don't know what that is at the other end there. But it sounds cool. I'm sure it's gonna be, you know, something completely banal when we get there. But... He's like, what the hell? Like, you know what hell? Darkness has been shooting things your way for days now. Nice. I like that they made the darkness move something while we were on it. Gotta admit, that made me feel not safe for a minute. See, it was just some machine. I knew they were gonna do some kind of trick like that, but it's still pretty cool. Why would they move the thing? Okay. I tried maybe finding a way where it wouldn't be able to hit me so easily, but that didn't happen. Where's a link without any strength? Yeah, no shit. Wouldn't it have been cool if we were able to use a clicker? Oh yeah. Use it for puzzles, maybe. Some pathway has to be night and some have to be day. Agreed. Only way through when and where to switch. Yep, yep. My god, I feel like an idiot. I absolutely should flare it like a motherfucker. Completely forgot. I mean, I've been gathering flares and yet somehow completely forgot I had flares. I wanted to give y'all a chance, but if you're forcing me to destroy you, I will. Right, and another movie I watched recently that was good until it wasn't is the latest James Bond. Like, I already almost forgot everything about that movie. Seriously, it did not stay in my brain very long. But I remember liking it until near the end. Flashbang than I should have, but it worked. Thanks for reminding me this is a thing I can do. I'm the user elixir reminder person. Yeah, that's literally what you did right there. For sure. Helped quite a bit. editions. It wasn't good until when. I have not finished Book of Boba Fett. I need to do that. I think it's one of those shows that I'm watching with my girlfriend, so I have to wait until she's back in the mood to finish it. So it might be a bit. That sounds like a truck that's gonna have much better lighting than my car. We watched the first 4 episodes of it. It was okay. But, you know, it wasn't great. But it was okay. Like, the big issue for me was that I mostly only cared about the bits that was in the past with the Tuscans. And then the Tuscans weren't in the movie anymore. That was a bit of a turnoff. Alright, I'm not dealing with you, buddy. Damn, should not have wasted so much of my battery. They're considered the second worst piece of Star Wars media ever. I wouldn't say second worst. Well, no, maybe. It wasn't great. But again, I'm not done, so maybe it gets better. I don't know. Yeah, Rise of Skywalker was definitely the worst bit of Star Wars media. Yeah. Well, no. I know a lot of people who did love Book of Boba Fett, so you're not the only one who loved it. It was clearly... It seems it was done for a particular audience, and I'm just not that audience, I suppose. That was clear on that. I think the darkness is pierced. Oh. Gotta walk again. I mean, okay, now let's be fair. Like, it was still better than the latest trilogy. While I liked Force Awakens quite a bit, ironically, for the spiritual aspects of it. Like, because it really made us feel like the Force as a force. Like, we could feel its influence a little bit. Like, fate coming together, like the battle between What's-Her-Face and What's-His-Face. It's been a while, I forgot. It's not good enough for me to remember their names, but like, it was preordained or something. It was a big deal. Probably sucked for fans of Star Wars, because that is really not how the Force operates. But as a non-fan, it was enjoyable to me to watch that. Feeling the Force like that, it was cool. But all the other movies, no. In the trilogy, I mean, just no.
You can learn about nature and yourself.
Yep, I heard you, buddy. There's far too many shadow dudes. Okay. Okay. Clearly you want me to spam... Okay. Spam the flares and all. Okay, let's... Yeah, that's the thing. Oh, I do still get flares. Alright, cool. That's going to be better than flashbangs, because flashbangs take a while to go off. Grab the bullets. Alright. Flaring their asses worked. Okay. Sharing it solely because of its suspended. I expect that stuff from Marvel, not Star Wars, even though the reason I dislike it is so hard I can't talk about it. Right, no, that's fair. Let's not spoil anything, but no worse than Force Awakens and Last Jedi. Okay, I'm actually one of those people who like Last Jedi more than The Force Awakens. There's a fair argument there. I can see why people would like Force Awakens, Last Jedi. I didn't, but I can see what they tried to do and how some people would enjoy that. Specifically the ending. I think they were going somewhere that could have been interesting. It was just not great in terms of making sense. Like some movies like to do that. Like you're gonna see a character, let's say, cross a hallway. Like X-Men 2 does that. Like some characters are gonna start crossing a hallway to a room that is not too far. Then you're going to skip to see other people who are going to do things for a span of like 2 days or something like that. And then we're going to go back to these characters and they have now reached the other room. Literally that happens in X-Men. Like the time it takes for a couple of characters who are already in the correct building to move from one room to another is several days for another batch of characters while they're traveling in a jets. Anyway, it's kind of silly. And Force Awakens does that quite a bit. Like, by the time it takes a couple of ships to do, I don't remember what, you've got a bunch of characters who go have a huge adventure that takes several days somewhere. Like, it's just... And there's a lot of weird things with gravity that make no sense. It's a really hard movie to watch if you're a logical person. But... And even like the way that one character destroys a whole fleet of ships is like, if it was that easy to destroy a fleet of ships, everyone would do it. Like, you don't have to do it exactly the way that character did it, because there was a downside to it. But, autopilot is a thing. Just saying. So, yeah, it's a hard movie to watch from that perspective. But... it was visually very good. There were many really cool battles, and the last planet that's all white, but the snow or sand or whatever it is, is red underneath, was really visually cool. Watching people fight in whatever that thing is that's white on one side and red on the other was really cool. There's a lot of good stuff in that movie. It wasn't for me, but there's a lot of good stuff in that movie. So it's fair if you liked it. I mean, not that you need to have my permission for that, for sure. Void also enjoyed that. Nice, interesting. X-Men mention always. Yeah, sure, yeah. Apparently so.
The bottom of Cauldron Lake was a graveyard of things the lake had claimed in one way or another over the decades. The dark presence brought them up in its wake, scattering the rotten waterlogged hull of an old boat here, the remains of a long ago crashed airplane there. Trees shattered under the impacts. The earth groaned. It didn't even notice.
Conveniently a new truck. Thank you. Ooh. Like, why do you give me a truck if I'm gonna have to keep getting out every 3 seconds? Like, you give me a truck, there's a roadblock. Okay, I go through the roadblock. They give me another truck, there's a roadblock. Like, I guess it's different from the rest of the game, but it's not as interesting a mechanic as other things they've tried. But it's fine. I will survive. I had not recharged. Reloading, sorry. Some weird mix of French and English suddenly came into my vocabulary. Back in 30 minutes. Absolutely. Let us know when you're back. We'll catch you up. Most likely not much is going to happen. Probably going to go through that building or something of that nature. Read. What? Oh. All visitors must see the yard manager. You must sign a liability waiver before entering the yard. If you're looking for a specific part, ask for it. Before you pull it, you must bring your own tools. Wear protective clothing. Warning, junk piles may shift. Hazardous area. Yeah, with the darkness throwing shit at us, yeah, I guarantee they will shift. It. I have the hunting rifle. Don't need to pick it up. Ah, gonna give me more bullets, right? Yeah. Alright, welcome back. You didn't miss anything. Okay. Gonna go back out from this. Oh, did not see you guys there, or you. I can hear folks walking, but, you know. Yeah, it's, I mean, I don't know that I would say boring, but it's not as engaging for some reason. And I can't really explain why, because it's action-packed and everything. It should be intense, but I'm not feeling it.
Zane cut his heart out, but it didn't die. The thing that wore Barbara's face kept crooning sweet nothings sugar-laced with poison. He put on the suit, untied the monster from the chair. The thing in his arms thrashed weakly, but he held fast. He stepped outside, off the pier, and into the dark water, a sinking pinprick of light descending toward a bottom that never came.
I don't know. Chapter 4, I think the one in the asylum was interesting. I liked the whole building crashing. I liked seeing like the darkness taking it out on the entire area. Chapter 5 had its moments too. Oh yeah, and Chapter 4 had the show. It was interesting as well. The bit with the Lady of the Light or whatever. I forget what it was called, but the whole thing in the house, in the song. There were good bits throughout. Okay, I have no idea what good it was to do what we just did. Guess what we did is we started this moving. And I guess I need to leave the car again. Unless I can use the car around this. Nope, it doesn't go around. So I assume I need to climb. What's the point of this? Can I move out there? Can I climb? Any kind of ladder? Oh. Flashing green light? Reload. Oh, you have a flare again. God damn it. Stop switching to flares. So this is gonna go up, and now we can use the car again. True, yes. Thanks for bringing that up. Both Changeling and Wraith are 90% off. Not gonna get them because I still have... I don't know why. I still kind of want my books to be physical. I'm having a hard time convincing myself that I should buy PDF, even though, you know, it's a lot cheaper. And it saves paper. I should. I really should. Also, I pretty much have all the books I care to have. Sorry, in those two game lines. But That is a good price. $250 for a core book for the 20th edition core books. Those are beasts. Those are beast big books.
When I told Barry my plan back in the well-lit room, I'd acted as if I knew what I was doing. I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I was operating on the shifting logic of a dream. I had to fight my way to the lake through the horrors of the night. I had to flick an old battered light switch imbued with childhood magic. I had to write a happy ending to a horror story. I had to save my wife from the dark prison she was being held in.
Okay, when someone got his memory back, I feel like the curtain was lifted a bit too much, and it is why I say 2 and 3. That's fair. I feel like she's leading us to the right way this time, instead of extra loot. But it's the only place we can go to, so thanks, I guess. Just make sure every gun are reloaded. Excellent, there we go. What? Oh, push. Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm a bit disappointed in my rig. My rig is supposed to be perfect. My rig is supposed to be awesome. My rig is supposed to be the best. And yet, glitches. It's an old game. Well, the remake isn't old, but I can assume. I mean, I'm okay with, especially a remaster. I assume that they started from the original, more or less, and up the graphics from there. I have to expect some imperfection somewhere in there, and some incompatibility.
I
with
will never give her to you.
Yeah. It's an interesting way of saying it, but yeah. Where did the huge ass tornado go? Well, we're not going back that way for sure. But I didn't mean to do that anyway, so. Come on, push! Jesus. Okay. That was a kind of cool bit, but it could have been cooler, I think. Like, if you're going to have the darkness summon a frickin' tornado, can I fight it? Like, maybe not fight it, but, like, can it be relevant?
I could see Mirror Peak in the distance. That's where Cauldron Lake was.
Cool story, bro. Did not need to interrupt my traveling just for that, but okay. Yeah, like, can it stay on screen more than half a second? Can it be a thing? Okay, there we go. It's quite a ways to go. I guess they found this a means of travel that's gonna make it seem like it makes sense that we get to know. Not even. Never mind. Okay. Climb. Okay. Paper, probably. Or the right way. Oh no, just something to push. Take that, Hitchcock! Mechanic is as fun as they think it is. That seems to be the right way, though. So, let me go here where there is nothing. Okay, never mind. Thought there might be at least some loot. Flashbangs. I guess I'm supposed to be scared of the birds or something because they appear suddenly, but yeah. Good. Through the floor. Alright. I know just did a whole bit, like half an hour, about hunting mechanics in video games in terms of game design theory, but here's another bit of game design theory for you. Just a short bit. In 19-something or whatever, I don't know the exact date, look it up, whenever Half-Life came out. Half-Life 1 realized something and took to heart one core game design theory. And that theory was, taking control away from the player sucks, and you should never ever do it. Some games do it well. I'm not saying that, you know, literally never. It can be okay to do it. But usually, you want your players engaged with your game. You want them to be active. There were times, you know, when we were used to, and it was fun. Like the ATB gauge in old Final Fantasy, we had to wait our turn to play. It worked for these times, it worked for these games. That was a cool system back then. We still felt engaged. But a lot of people didn't. And that's why a lot of people really can't, you know, really don't like turn-by-turn gameplay, and it's essentially fallen out of favor for essentially that reason. And to be honest, I'm okay with it. Some games still manage to do good things with it. Still, the general consensus, it is generally accepted, since Half-Life made the point that you should not remove agency, you should not remove control from players, and if you play Half-Life, you'll notice that even the whole fucking entire sequence when you're in a tramway for like 5 or 10 straight up minutes, going through the whole Black Mesa compound, you're still in control. You're being exposed to all kinds of stuff, you're learning all kinds of things, you're seeing all kinds of interesting things. It's one of the best intros in video game history still, and you're stuck in a tramway unable to do a goddamn thing. But it was super moody and it was super interesting. This game did not understand that. Every couple of seconds, it completely removes control from me just to show a bunch of birds coming on screen. Or some dudes jumping down from whatever. If Half-Life as a first-person shooter, therefore a game that isn't even third like this, that doesn't show me as much of the action around my character as this game, was able to let me know an enemy had come into the screen and I had to fight, I'm pretty sure these guys could have done it as well. Agreed. See you, buddy. Oh, I can't reload. I'm out of bullets. Alright. It's kind of like, you know, paralysis in games. Like, if you have an action game, you're fighting, you're having fun, and suddenly you have this status effect that is paralysis. You're just stuck there, you can't move, you have to wait, and you have to soak, like, all kinds of damage, all kinds of stuff. You just have to be there and take it all in. It's not exactly fun. Again, some games manage to do it in interesting ways. It's not a universal rule. at all. I'm saying that it's generally not the best way to do things. And I'm saying here, it doesn't work. Okay. Tara's back. Let me just catch up. I mean, sometimes your camera is forced moved in Half-Life. Big example when you meet the dogs for the first time. It is possible I forgot about that. If that is the case, it's kind of weird though. Because it was literally something they made a big fuss about in interviews back when the game came out. Saying that they never remove control from it. Like, I believe you. If you say it's there, it's there. I have no reason to... I've never had any reason to doubt it. It's just weird. Down. Look at you thinking you're the shits. Speaking of the shits, Legend of Vox Machina is also something I have thoroughly enjoyed watching. And the reason I'm referring to that, just in case you don't know, isn't that I'm shilling on the game. It's just that literally, before being known as Vox Machina, the group was known as the Shits. It is a name they gave themselves. It got removed though in the TV show. They skipped that part, but theoretically the first time they meet, I think it's the king. The king is supposed to ask them. It happened before the Chronicles started, so we don't actually get to see that part, but the cast explained that's how it happened originally when they played their games. The king asked like who they were, and they didn't have a name back then. They didn't know what to answer, and Scanlan, as I recall, I could be wrong, but I think it was Scanlan, said the Shits. We're the Shits. And that's how they were called for quite a bit, until they found a better name for themselves. Is it D&D actual? Crit roll? Yes, absolutely. If you mean the show, it's based on the D&D actual play. Right. I should explain that and not assume that everyone knows. That's yeah, definitely a good point. It's based on the first campaign that they did. They cut through a lot of crap though. It skips a lot of stuff, obviously, because that's 300 to 400 hours of content they're gonna cram into 12 episodes. Actually, 24 episodes? No. Yes, 24 episodes. 2 seasons of 12. So, of course, they're skipping through, but it is surprising how much they're managing to squeeze in there in The Legend of Vox Machina. It really is true to the show. It's just not an actual play in the sense that there is no meta aspect, if that's what you're asking. It's just the adventures of Vox Machina as they go through the Briarwood storyline. Which is, by the way, absolutely the best storyline that they have ever run in crit rolls, so pretty happy. that they decided to run? I'm confused. Yeah, but there's nothing. Was I supposed to jump? But even if I was supposed to jump where? I'm gonna try looking up there. That's fair. It's completely fair. And also even more fair. That's a lot of content, seriously. Like, I watched the whole entire first campaign, and and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. But I never was able to get behind watching like the second campaign. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just it's so much content. Okay, I have no idea where this stuff is. Completely fair. I'm sorry, I just assumed, considering how popular crit roll is. But yeah, no, you're right. I should have explained. But yeah, it's based on an actual play, and it's on Amazon Prime. It was actually something that they kickstarted, and they made millions with the Kickstarter, so they were able to finance their own show, literally their own TV show based on their actual play, and they were able to finance a whole season. And seeing how well the Kickstarter did and how popular Crit Roll was, Amazon went and ordered right away a second season. And honestly, why wouldn't they? It's like, when you think about it, they got a whole season for free. They didn't have to pay for a production of season 1. Literally, the Kickstarter paid for the whole first season. So, like, for them, it's like buying a new show, where usually that would only give them a season, a single season. They got 2. They literally, in other words, they literally got 2 seasons for the price of 1. Yeah, here you, buddy. I didn't see you, buddy. I think you're quick, but you're not that quick. There we go. Okay, that's good. We needed more. Okay, it came from there. There might be stuff lying about, but I'm fine with this. Coming in. Okay. I'm surprised G4 hasn't tried to do one of those overproduced actual plays. They're trying to do a revival. To be perfectly blunt, I have very little clue what G4 is, so my turn, I guess, to be clueless on something. I keep hearing that name. I don't know much about it. I know that what's his name? B. Dave Walters is in it, but that's pretty much it. The way through darkness.
After Zane had gone, I stood alone in the shifting dream that was the dark place. I had to find a way to the cabin. I'd written myself a way through this place in the manuscript. I followed the idea of a path. I'd written myself across the ocean that blocked my way, and with that, there was a bridge to the island beyond. The idea of the cabin flickered in the underwater darkness. I willed the cabin to be real, and it was.
unsatisfied with the power of a god when he has a typewriter, Alan Wake gives himself the power of a god without the typewriter. I'm gonna will shit into existence because I can.
Turn back now.
Nope. Did not say the magic word. What hurt me, I think I stood too close to it. Sure, that's a good use of my flares. Strum the thing while I do other stuff. Like surviving. Oh, done.
Do as you're told.
Do that. After everything we've been through, Darkness, I thought you would know me better. Oh, that's cool. I feel threatened. Like the Simpsons meme. I'm in danger.
She never loved you.
Now we're getting somewhere. We're facing up against the actual tornado. That's nice. Let me read chat before it gets too intense and I need to focus. Let me be clear, I'm not a Matt Mercer hater in me saying overproduced. Just when you're so produced, DST starts giving you a script of what will happen. It takes away what I like about RPGs and just makes it a 3-hour long show with a story that could fit in 30 minutes episode of a TV show. I would rather spend my time doing something else. Potentially. I've never heard them, having scripts, and there are definitely bits that completely surprised Matt Mercer and weren't part of the plan. Didn't see any way of not getting that hit in my face. Yeah, like there were some scenes in, at the very least in the first campaign,
you can't win.
That a certain player had been definitely playing for planning. Sorry, trying to think while fighting a tornado. Like Sam Riegel did something in the final episode that there's been a lot of analysis
you
on.
You will fail.
About how long you had planning a certain move to do a certain thing, and it worked. I don't remember the details, but a friend of mine is a big fan of that move Sam did, and it was clearly not planned. So, while I didn't do any research myself on the subject per se, I feel confident that, well, yeah, maybe some bits, I guess, might have been a little scripted. For the most part, I do believe it's legit, but I could be for sure. try and shoot the flare into it. There you go. That seems to work much better.
You're making us up.
Oh, we can see her. That's nice. We can see her in the middle of it, and that's cool. Sorry, I did not see your text in time. Leap of faith time, buddy. You got this, Island. You've got this.
Hell!
I see. I see.
Shh, baby. You were having a bad dream. It was just another nightmare.
No,
Everything's fine. You're home.
it wasn't a dream.
Everything's fine.
Turn the lights on. Turn the lights on!
Shh, baby. The power's out. There's no light. Come back to bed and I'll make you forget all about your fear of the dark.
My fear? It's your fear. Why aren't you afraid? You're not Alice. Turn the lights on now. Where's the clicker? What did you do with it?
Alan, honey, you're still 1 foot in a dream. You're not making any sense. Come back to
I just
bed.
willingly walked up to the darkness. I mean, for a regular game for sure.
Alan, you're
But
scaring me now.
I can see
Come
why
back to
you
bed. Have you taken your
would want to
pills?
go that
Do
way.
you want me to call Dr. Hartman? I
for
read your manuscript. It's brilliant.
an actual
Departure is your best work yet. You're a genius. I'm so proud of you. Come back to bed. We'll talk more about it in the morning.
I wouldn't really do it myself per se, but I can get why it's not automatically a bad thing. I can also understand why, you know, you're not into it. It's perfectly fine. I've been extremely entertained myself with Crit Roll over the years, so the results,
Come back to bed, Alan. Come back to bed, Tom.
I believe, speak for themselves, but perfectly fair.
You must find your way to the cabin. It stands in your way. It won't let you pass. It has no heart. It's filled with darkness. You must fill its heart with light. Don't mind him. He's Mr. Scott. Your friends will meet him when you're gone.
Mr. Scrooge.
Use the clicker.
His friends will meet him when you're gone. Okay. Thank you for the free coffee.
I followed the idea of a path.
Oh, follow the idea. Okay. That's what he meant by willing things to appear, and then they did. That was unreadable, but I think it's a telephone pole.
I'm leaving you.
What?
I'm leaving you, Alan. I met someone. I'm in love with someone else.
Alice? No, what are you saying? You can't...
You don't love me. How could you when you don't even love yourself? All you do is torture yourself with work you can't do anymore.
No, I love you more than anything in the world. You're my muse.
I'm not.
Who are you? What have you done with my Alice?
Alan? What are you doing? Put the light back on. What are you doing, Alan? Stop! Put the light back on!
It wasn't true. Nothing like that had ever happened.
I had written myself across the ocean.
Really, you're giving me hints through the phone about which is the correct word. I'm just gonna do all the words. But sure, fine. I mean, I'm glad you're joking, but it could have been true. Like, I was just waiting for a lull in the conversation to explain it's an actual mechanic, but I was pretty sure.
You're not my Barbara.
Tom,
You got it.
let me go. I promise to be good. Please, untie me, you naughty boy. I will help you write your masterpiece.
Bird
I will love
leg
you forever.
cabin. Am I gonna like
No,
do
you're
the
not
Baba
Barbara
Yaga
Jagger.
thing?
I made a terrible mistake. I should have never written you back.
If
You
I'm
came back
just
wrong.
going, sorry.
Your heart is filled with darkness.
Put that knife away, Thomas. Put it down.
Heart is filled with darkness. I'll cut it out.
Ah!
I'll take you back to the depths you came from.
I willed the cabin to be real.
Filled with darkness.
I mean, bird leg cabin. Sounds like we're gonna make Baba Yaga's cabin. Pfft, not even Baba Yaga's cabin. Disappoint.
Get away from me, you hag! Where am I? Let me go!
Alice! Alice! I'm coming!
Your husband refused to do as he was told. All he had to do was write what I wanted him to write. Now it's too late. It's his fault. You'll stay here forever.
Could be. I may have missed the part where they ended
Now
that.
you will never get her back.
Huh.
I am much older than you.
In absolutely
Older
every sense
than
of
your
the word.
first work of art. I will find a new face to wear. Someone else to dream me free.
I missed that sentence. Thank you for catching that. Interesting. There's a lot of implications there.
I could feel Alice's presence close by. I understood what I had to do now. I knew how to write the ending to Departure. There's light and there's darkness. Cause and effect. There's guilt and there's atonement. But the scales always need to balance. Everything has a price. That's where Zane had gone wrong. There's a long journey through the night back into the light.
Alice? Alice? Oh no!
guess that's their way of representing a week went by. Not as far as I know. I see why you would think that, absolutely, but no. I think Wake did the thing, and now it's just Alice coming back out. She's free because the darkness can't hold her anymore, but Alan's gonna stay stuck in wherever she was. Because everything needs to have a price, right?
Alan?
So, if he's writing an ending where she's free, he needs to stay stuck. And he feels like, I think that's the whole thing, right? Because I essentially think you're completely right. Probably what happened is that, I forget the scientific term that Control uses, but I think Zane was sensitive, and I think he had some slight reality-altering power, and he used it to bring her back to life, which I'm assuming the only way reality could allow for that was to make her possessed by the darkness or something like that, and I'm assuming the entity got pulled to Bright Falls from whatever dimension it's in, and it started the whole thing. He tried to just get her back. He didn't pay the price for it. It should have been a whole journey. It should have been something that he would have sacrificed for, but he just wrote, and now she lives. Yes. I think there's a bit more to Mr. Scratch if we play one of the DLCs. Rose. Who was that guy behind her? He seemed fishy.
It's not a lake. It's an ocean.
Alan, wake up.
Okay. I don't know who the guy behind Rose was. It's interesting. Did he have a badge? Could be. Yeah, can we skip that? Oh, yes. Okay, good. Because, you know... Okay. Just didn't want to get the copyright stuff going on. Okay. That's fine. I don't need you to log into Epic episodes. Actually, you know what? I just realized we don't appear to have the DLCs, even if we wanted to play them. Can I click new game? No. Okay, so the remaster did not come with the DLCs, it seems like. Let me just double check that. I think I got it on Epic. Let me double check. I think one of the DLCs is about Mr. Scratch, kind of. Library. Let's go to the store page. I thought it did, though. Alright, it really doesn't seem like it's there. Well, alright then. That's not a thing that's going to happen. Understood. I was thinking they might be standalone boots, but I'm looking at my library right here and they're not there. So unless I didn't buy them and should have bought them separately, I don't appear to have them at all. And I'm trying to find, looking by the keyword Alan Wake, and nothing's coming up as something else I can buy that isn't the main game. And there are no links that I can see, at least not on the Epic site, for me to buy them. So I guess the decision is out of our hands. Yes, that definitely sets up a sequel. I guess I'll leave it at that for now. It is, however, barely past 9. That's a bit early to stop. Then again, I don't really want to boot Control right now because I want to make sure that people are here for that. So I'm going to make sure that everyone knows next Monday. Well, actually, no, not next Monday because I'm off next Monday. Sure, no, I'll stream anyway. I'll figure something out. I'm gonna stream next Monday, and I'll make it happen. I want to make sure that people know we're starting Control because I want people to be there start to finish and not miss the introduction. It is an interesting ending for sure, and it definitely ties to other things. Essentially, let's leave it at that. And those other things will be in Control that we're going to start next week. Oh. I can start the DLCs with... Okay. Well, for now, let's just take a quick bio break. And I'll be right back. And yes, if I can start the DLCs from that menu, then I guess that's what we're going to do. I don't know that we'll necessarily finish them, but we can at least play until 10 and see what's what. Be back in a few seconds. Alright, I am back, and let's boot the game again. See if we can find that DLC. Weird thing is, I thought I did go to episode select, but apparently I didn't. Okay, sound is still good. Episodes. Easy. There we go. Okay, so we've got. Yeah, we're.
Previously on Alan Wake, something I only know as the Dark Presence held my wife captive and used her to make me write a horror story that came true.
I'll bring her back.
Some part of me had been aware enough to write my escape into the story.
Alan?
I saved Alice, then wrote a better ending for the story. But not without a price. I was trapped somewhere in the dark place, a strange zone somewhere beyond our world.
It's not a lake. It's an ocean.
After the completion of any difficult undertaking, there are mixed emotions. Accomplishment and relief. Sadness, depression. For a while, everything was about the work. Like an illness, it consumed you, changed you. You locked yourself away from the world to do it, and now you need to recover. Learn to live without it. Find a way to crack open the door and let the light back in. I knew this place. It was familiar, but wrong somehow.
Welcome to the...
Everything had a surreal, dreamlike quality.
I can't believe it.
I had a disturbing feeling of deja vu. I had no idea why I was here or where I had been before this moment. But something was waiting for me at the back of the diner.
Try the coffee.
Do me a favor, Sonny. I could really use a tune right now. Number 6 in the jukebox. I'd do it myself, but...
Go in there, young man. You can hurt yourself in the dark.
That's not how it happened.
Alan, listen to me. Go no deeper.
What?
Focus. You're losing yourself. I will try to help the best I can, but it's up to you. Find a better point of contact.
What do you mean?
I cannot hear you. Please, you're the one making all this happen. Concentrate. This is what's happening.
Nightmares. Too deep. Can't take the pressure. It's too much.
Suddenly, Wake found himself face to face with himself.
At the sight of myself, the dream suddenly became lucid. The dark place. That's where I was.
You will need weapons. It's not the light itself, but what it represents. You will need it. This is not a gun. It is a tool in a logical process of elimination. Be careful. I will try to find a better point of contact.
I didn't understand Zane's message, and knowing where I was didn't fix anything. Something had gone wrong after I had finished departure. What the hell was that?
Day had become night. The diner had become deserted. Then the door was smashed off its hinges and Wake had to fight for his life.
Well, foreshadowing. Or spoilers, depending.
Don't forget your lunchbox.
doesn't have the shield. Okay, here's a big one. Okay. I guess I go through the new door. I guess that's gonna wake us up. Yeah. Yeah, good point.
Zane! Wait for me!
The world had become twisted. These trees didn't belong here.
I don't have a lot to fight with. So I'm just going to try to run for it. Okay. Is that the house? Not sure. No, that's not. Don't know what this is. Speedrun mode commence. Yeah.
But the words were jumbled, dreamlike fragments. Reloading frantically. The rounds, just a stone's throw away from the tent. The bed looked inviting, but it was just the radio. It had to go on. She was startled by the phone. The GPS system was working. I hadn't expected that. Hello?
I'm trying to reach you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Listen, I can help you, but you're drifting deeper. I can't reach you. You must come to me. I can't maintain the connection. Use the words. Follow the signal.
It made no sense for the GPS system to work. I doubted any satellite was in range here. These were alien skies, but it was guiding me towards something. Towards Zane?
Bigger flashlight? Yes. Were there other words actually I should? No, that was just for the cutscene. Alright. I'm sure that makes sense. Over here, nothing, so we go back out.
Something had shifted again. The dark place was playing tricks on me. It wouldn't stay still.
The town itself turned against Wake. Cars flew toward him. It cracked bone and crushed muscle. It oozed hate. It wanted to bury him.
It's I'm feeling like whoever is behind the screen this time, like quick second to try to. Okay.
Something had shifted again. The dark place was playing tricks on me. Okay. It wouldn't stay still.
The town itself turned against Wake. Cars flew toward him.
Thought it was being clever. Are all the cars possessed or just a couple of them? Just a couple of them. Okay, so I can actually speedrun mode engaged indeed. Aha. Yeah, I suppose. I have to admit, the intensity of having to fight all of these dudes while these cars are ramming into the window, that's pretty sweet.
Everything I saw was familiar, and yet it wasn't.
Hello?
I cannot keep up. You're going too deep. I will try to guide you. Follow the signal.
I'm trying!
You must face yourself. Follow.
Oh!
The GPS system was supposed to lead me to Zane, but the shifts were interfering with it. I had to keep trying. I wouldn't survive alone.
Guess I need to climb up there.
The changes were becoming more violent. The street wasn't so much ripped apart as it was missing. Like some great hand had reached down and scooped it up. Everything felt erratic, unstable.
Supposed to go there, but apparently some ammo fell. Bit sad about that, but Sarah Breaker. Bright Fall's finest, the red-hot cop chick with the lightning-fast boomstick. Her debut book, The Only Girl in Her Bookhouse, delves deep into the double life of having a successful law enforcement career while being involved in a secret society. How does Daddy's Little Trooper fit into an old-fashioned fraternity? Again with the hints on the existence of the Federal Bureau of Control. That's awesome. Yeah, that's one of the things I remember not being a huge fan of. That core game didn't do. They never really put you against a bunch of dudes at the same time as a bunch of birds. I'm not sure it's different, it's interesting, but I think it's going to be pretty hard. hit by a floating word. At least they're generous. Part of a... That was also a member of a secret society. Is what I assumed being the hint of the existence of control.
Where are you? Look, I'm trying to follow your goddamn signal.
The dark place is playing tricks on you. You're still going deeper. I'm trying to guide you, but it's hard.
What is this?
I can help you if you just stop sinking.
What? This is bullshit.
It's happening again. Brace yourself.
I was running after Zane, and he was telling me I was going too deep. It was ridiculous, but I was more scared than amused. I felt like I was being hindered by an unseen force in ways I couldn't fight. All I could do was keep going.
If you recall, I don't remember exactly when it was, but there was a point where she told Barry, call these people and tell them, like, this keyword or some such. A big hint, I think, that she is a member of the FBC. Or at least, you know, FBC adjacent. Oh, really? That's a bit sad to hear. I know how much you liked the original. And, I mean, it's weird though. Like, oh, hello.
I don't see Barry.
Look, wait, maybe that's him. That's the way to the chopper.
I remembered this. This happened before we found Barry.
Yep. I don't know what happened. Like, for some reason, I did.
Playground.
Sorry.
Wake's pathetic memories of the Wonder Years and the contrary little boy pretending he didn't miss his father he never knew. He surged up and beat Wake down. Merry-go-rounds and slides, eager to cave in his head.
Like, see how angry that character is? Like, it's not the same that's been talking to us before. I do believe it's probably something like Mutation Dodge. Right, so what I was trying to say before I got interrupted by playground things and trying to kill me is, for some reason I lost interest too. Like, I can't explain it, I don't know why, there's no good reason for it, but it's like, I'm not sure I want to play it for some weird reason. Probably eventually, because it was too good not to at least try the sequel, but I don't know. I guess it's a question of mood. I'm not in that particular mood right now. I don't know. Correct, but on the TV it was always Alan as well. We could see Alan usually not looking at the screen, but he was typing, and we could hear his voice over it. Although sometimes he did pay attention, but the attitude was completely different. Zane spoke to us.
I had to find the key to get the door open.
Okay. Zane did in this DLC speak just through the TV. But usually in the game he spoke to us. Oh shit! Hello. Just as a spot of light, just appearing out of nowhere. I didn't need a medium to talk to us. Oh shit! Really? The mood is completely different. That's like, what the heck? The mood was so amazing. Why would they change that? Okay, that's cool.
I'm gonna give Pastor Howard a piece of my mind about this lock. Ugh, I told him to get it fixed.
She has the key, so she's the one that's bombs.
I got the door
cool.
open. Run for it.
But yeah, as you can see, the DLC, this DLC, not Outer Wild, is really mostly rethreading some bits we've already done, just in a much creepier way. And while I do think there may be something worthwhile...
The world was changing, twisting, out of control. It was too big on the inside. He couldn't see the ceiling. Something was moving in there. He was lost. He couldn't find the exit.
Asshole.
Not again.
So yeah, I think there is, you know, in the end, probably some bit of lore that would make
The
it
shifts were getting more
worthwhile.
severe. I wasn't sure if the place got bigger or I got smaller. The signal was going haywire. I would have to find my way out of here on my own.
Like here, we actually don't want to light any of those. Let's to do that. Aha! We're gonna have to be really fucking. Ah, damn it! My flare again. That is a pretty cool scene, though. Gotta say, that is a damn cool scene. Really good use of that new mechanic we got here. Let's see if there's anything to loot over here. There is. Oh. Like, there's a story, but it has so little connection to the main story, it isn't really drawing me in. Damn. Huh. Good to know. Good to know.
Zane left me a page. He was trying to help me.
up?
Barry?
Hey, bestseller! Looking good!
You're not real.
Well, no shit. What gave me away? What, the see-through thing? I'm a figment of your imagination, just like pretty much everything else you see here. Maybe even you.
That's insane.
Yeah, you're right. Everything that happened before made perfect sense, but this is insane. Good catch, Al.
Okay. Okay, look, I gotta get going. The GPS...
GPS, yeah, I know. Follow the signal. Got it.
Let's not do the other
So,
ones, I guess.
anywho, I'm here to help you out, pal. The thing is, you need to get a grip, alright?
You nag the way the real Barry does. You know that?
Well, hey, you know, be fair. It's not my fault you think I'm annoying.
I don't think you're annoying.
Al, baby.
Yeah, you do.
Relax, it's cool. Just try to stay on the ball here. You need to do what Zane tells you. He's been here for ages. He's like the expert. Anyway, if this is insane, and it's all from your mind, what's that say about you?
Fine, enough. I can't believe I was actually happy to see you.
Oh, come on. Don't shit a shitter, Al. Deep down, you're always happy to see me. Can't lie to yourself, know what I'm saying?
I must be a sucker for punishment.
You? No, really? And I always thought you went out of your way to avoid trouble.
Thanks. Thanks for that. I think the signal's pointing towards that thing in the distance.
Yeah, that'd be the Biltmore sawmill.
How the hell do you know that?
I don't know anything you don't. So why don't you ask yourself that? Huh? Maybe you saw a sign for it back in the real world. Or... Woo! Mama! Hey, Al! I guess the pen is mightier
If you complete that sentence, you're fired.
Mightier than the sword.
You're fired.
Aww.
This is good work for a night person.
They're really using that mechanic for cool effects. I'm liking that.
He can feel them coming. Not even flesh anymore. Just shadows and ghosts and thoughts slicing through his flesh. They were here. They were here.
Remember, I can't touch the words. Why did I die? I was... okay, fine. Guess I can't let them touch me or something. Okay, so... it appears I need to make sure I trigger the fireworks, because that makes them physical.
Shadows and ghosts and thoughts slicing through his flesh.
Now I can catch them. But not all of them became visible this time. It sucks, but okay. Okay. I mean, to be fair, the original was... I can summon more enemies. Wow. The original was really special, so it means it's valid. I still had HP. Why do they keep killing me before I'm out of HP?
He could feel them coming. Not even flesh anymore. Just shadows and ghosts and thoughts slicing through his flesh. He was
Damn it.
You know, you're gonna have to make your way across here. I'm thinking the solution probably has something to do with those words.
Really? You think?
Yeah! We should probably use them.
Your insight is staggering.
Oh, I know. Whoa! Ah, see, this is the way things should be. I give advice, and you follow. That's when things go right. When you get up to something on your own, that's when the trouble starts.
That's horseshit.
Al? I'm not saying anything you haven't come up with first. Figment, remember?
This kind of thing could drive a man insane.
No! This is great! And it's probably therapeutic for you, too.
Cynthia Weaver, the Lady of the Light. The cloud of gloom in the well-lit room. Weaver's difficult and uncompromising life is illuminated in Cynthia Weaver, Carrying the Torch, an enlightening and occasionally harrowing biography by Helen Adams, who was an intern at the Bright Falls Record under Weaver's editorship. I kind of wish it was standalone, like maybe in universe you make, but as being in the main game only gives a reason for the time loop being a thing, but there are ways I can think of how it could be a time loop. Either that, or at least allow you to start on the DLC planet so you don't have to wait the first 2 minutes of the road getting to it. Right. And that's a thing too, by the way. That's a good point to bring up. I mean, again, not a universal rule, and I'm sure there are good uses of it, but I am such not a fan.
Wake's own words.
Sorry.
Littering the landscape. His books common and discarded. Like mud beneath his feet. Hardbacks, paperbacks, turned against him. Trash. Just cheap trash.
I had seen weird transmissions of myself before, but not like this. The version of myself I saw now sounded insane, like a demented storyteller who was out to torment and destroy the past.
I have to be careful what I like this time. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of DLCs happening in the midst of the main game.
Get off me!
Wow, there are books instead of ravens now. That is cool. Gotta say, this DLC is doing a lot of things pretty cool.
Al, come on. You gotta be careful. Those are bad words.
Not all of them.
Bad words.
Right. So there is such a thing as too much content, right? And choice paralysis. Those are a bad combo to have in a game. So yeah, I'm gonna try to at least get a save point. I mean, it's fine if we get a cutscene going. So far, there hasn't been super long cutscenes, so aside from in the beginning. But yeah, like, well, that is a checkpoint actually. Perfect. Awesome. So like, some games, like, think for example like Assassin's Creed. There's already so much content. Like, you can chase the Templars, you can do your main story, which implies taking over all parts of England. You can evolve your settlement, and doing so creates all kinds of side quests you can do with the villagers in your settlements. You can do a bazillion side quests all over the world. You can chase treasures. You can do so goddamn much already, right? And if you, in the middle of that, put another 20 hours of DLC, that's just too much. Like, at some point, let me have a complete experience. Let me finish the game, and then, like this, for example, you finish the main story of Alan Wake, you're content, you've had a full experience, start, middle, end. The loop has been looped. You're satisfied, and then you've got, some new content, some new DLC. It's not always great to have, like, for example, The Witcher 3. I never finished the main story of The Witcher 3 because you play for about 80 hours, and the first expansion is lower than that. But you play for about, let's say, 40 to 50 hours, right? And then the first expansion kicks in. You're still in the main game, but you're stopping everything to go spend 20 hours in the first expansion. Then you come back to the main game. You almost finish it. You are like maybe 3 to 4 hours before, finishing the main game. And then, the second expansion comes in, and that's another 30 hours. And that's just too much. As much as I absolutely adore The Witcher 3, I eventually got sick of playing it after about 100 or 120 hours or something. I was halfway through the second DLC, and I never came back to it, and I have no idea how the game ends. That's too much content. The game itself, the original game, is already about 100 hours by itself. So yeah, that must have been more like 120 when I stopped playing, because I did play the 2 expansions. So that's too much. Like, give me the full experience of the Witcher storyline, The Witcher 3. Yay, awesome, I'm satisfied. And then, hey, Heart of Stone, or whatever the expansion was called. all right, let me start that as a standalone experience afterwards, and let me do the same with Blood and Wine or something, which apparently is absolutely awesome. It's just I stopped playing just because I needed to try something else, and it was just too damn long. I'm not a huge fan of putting your DLC in the middle of your game. Sometimes it's okay, sometimes not so much. Control, for example, I was okay with it. Control does it as well. And there's no excuse for it. I should hate it, but I love it. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It works for me, even if though they put the DLC in the middle of the experience. I don't know what to tell you. I guess one of the big things is that they're not, 20 to 30 hours. They're not, extremely long. It's just one more section, I guess, of the building to explore for both of these expansions. So it's maybe, I don't know, 5 to 10 maximum. It's a chapter of the story to go through, so it's more acceptable. And they weave it in. It feels like you're just continuing the game to a certain degree. You can feel, yes, where they are, sure. But it's more exploring of the building. So it kind of, it doesn't feel like too much content. It doesn't feel like you've got choice paralysis of, oh, there's way too much things I can do. Just a tip. Just a tip of what? Probably something I said made you think of something, but it's already been said like minutes ago, so I forgot what I said. Also thinking about a person who now comes into the game, it's extremely easy for the DLC will be the first new player finds. You put 10 hours into the DLC and get upset about not going anywhere, not knowing it's a DLC. Exactly. That is a fucking good point. Like, especially a game that is, it's awesome, right? There's no going around it. Outer Wilds is amazing, it's awesome. But it's also confusing as heck. Like, I was real glad I had backup when I played it, because people in the chat, particularly, yes, Terraria, because he played the game before, giving me hints and helping me a little bit, a lot even, in some instances. Like, I was glad to have that, and I was glad to have someone who could, like, poke and say, you know what, you've still got things you can do there, or don't go there yet. Like, don't do this planet now, wait a little bit. Just a little bit of guidance to avoid feeling overwhelmed, which I feel the game could have easily overwhelmed me, and it didn't. But if you add the DLC into that, which a whole other thing completely unconnected, considering the original did a great job of each planet telling their own story that is all interconnected, and you're telling me the DLC is a completely different experience, that seems like something that would be very confusing to me. Yeah. Very much so. Standalone would have definitely been better. Yeah. You know what? I'm not sure I'm going to be playing it. Not soon anyway. Probably, maybe later in the year, maybe in several months. I'll want to see what the new story is about. I'll be curious. Maybe I'll play it, but I don't think it's going to be soon. I definitely don't think it's going to be after Control. I don't know what we will be playing after Control, though, at this point. But, I mean, we've got almost 2 months until that's an issue, so we've got time. We're almost in March now, so we've got at least 6 weeks of playing Control, assuming I don't skip anything. A week, I mean, like, let's say I don't feel well for a week and I have to skip a week. So we've got at least 6 weeks. Most likely when we finish Control, I think there's a chance we're just going to step right into Swan Song. Maybe not, but maybe yes. Really depends on how long it takes us to finish Control. We'll see. We'll figure things out. We might do... Maybe we could go back after Control and go back and redo maybe the Alan Wake... Actually, let's talk about that. What about next week? Chat, I would like to have your opinion on this. Do you want me to finish the DLCs to Alan Wake Remastered starting next week We can probably finish at least this one and do a good chunk of Special to the other episode. Or do you want me to skip straight to Control? I'm fine with both, actually. I'm actually enjoying the DLC more than I thought I would be, even though they're reusing some of the backgrounds. I'm liking what they're trying to do here in terms of mechanics. Okay, so that's one vote for the DLCs. That's fine. Please, other people in the chat, let me know your thoughts. Yeah, because I'm actually getting a little intrigued about the DLC myself, so I'm leaning towards doing them. And there's a chance we could probably do them both to next week, potentially. It's a third species. Oh. Came to die as well. So there's 3 as a little that the Numi weren't the only race to find the eye, but it doesn't have much of the writer's story. Fair enough. Okay, so 2 votes for doing the DLC. Alright. Sure. I don't know if Nomad and Stanil are still there, but I assume they would have voted by now if they were, so... Considering that's 2 yes, I'm gonna do it. I'm curious, and we've already started. It would be silly not to finish at this point. Alright, let's do that. Do we even have... No, there are no manuscripts here. Okay, let's do that. We're gonna finish DLCs next week, and after that, we're gonna do Control. Let's do that. That sounds like a plan. All right, wrapping it up then. It is now 10. That seems like a good time to stop. So thank you very much for coming. The ending was weird, right? Is it just me? Like, I liked it well enough in terms of lore, but it seems like it was a little underwhelming. I enjoyed fighting the tornado thing. And I didn't realize that was the final fight. That was weird. It felt like it was just a thing that happened. Like all of the other weird things that keep happening in the game to us. Like the bridge attacking us, or just like all. It felt like a set piece. That's what I'm trying to say. It felt like a set piece to go through, and then I would dive down and have the final showdown. And it turns out the final showdown was just a cutscene. And I mean, sometimes that's a good thing. Like, I have seen games not having a final fight or ending, like, there's, for example, a DLC for Borderlands 2. I'm not going to go too much into it, but literally the boss fight comes into the scene, makes a grand entrance, and falls to his death. Like, poof, no fight. I won't tell you which DLC. I'm going to let you have the surprise and everything. I don't want to spoil everything, but there's this bit there where just like, nope, there's no boss fight. It's the boss fight is a joke. It's finished. Go play another DLC. And that was amazing. Like, when we played, we didn't expect that. We laughed our asses off. It was amazing. But here in Alan Wake, it's just like, well, it's over. I don't know. I'm hoping maybe the DLCs do a little bit more to help with that. Which is one of the big reasons why I'm starting to lean into wanting to do the DLCs, because I'm hoping we're gonna get a bit more of a satisfying ending. I don't know. It's just, didn't feel like it ended at all. Kind of feels like we're going to have a sequel ending. Well, they're making Alan Wake 2 this year, so I guess. If that's what you're trying to say, yeah, Alan Wake 2 feels like it's going to be the ending. But there's also, as I mentioned, there is a DLC for Control that is completely Alan Wake themed, and I suppose we'll get to that when we play the game. But it felt like they wrapped up a lot with that DLC. I'm not going to go into too many details about that. I'm going to try, by the way, when we play Control, I'm going to try to do the Alan Wake DLC as early as I can, so that Alan Wake is still fresh when we do it. Hopefully that's possible. I remember it being very hard So maybe we're gonna need to wait closer to endgame than I would like so that we are powerful enough to survive it. But we'll see what we can do. I don't think they were making it wanting a sequel, but I feel like there's a conclusion, not an ending. This game, oh no, they absolutely wanted a sequel to Alan Wake. It's been a while, let me try to remember, but as I recall, as soon as this game ended, they tried to get a publisher for the longest time to try and do a sequel to Alan Wake. They were able to get some backing to do what's called Alan Wake's American Nightmare or something like that, which is a quasi-sequel that I have never played and I have no idea what it's about. As far as I know, I don't think it really ties into Control at all. Maybe I should look into that actually, American Nightmare, to see what it is and potentially stream it as well. Let's see. Is it on Epic? Don't think it is. That's something. Okay, I'll do that off screen. You don't have to watch me look for something here. But it's right there actually. $9. Alan Wake's American Nightmare. Thrilling new storyline, hordes of creepy enemies, serious firepower, and a beautiful Arizona location, combined with a fun and challenging new game mode. In this brand new standalone experience, Alan Wake fights the Herald of Dark. It feels like spoilers, so I'm gonna not read that. Oh, it's not canon. Alan Wake's American Nightmare is not canon. Awesome. Okay, then we're skipping that. I mean, we might play it eventually for the hell of it, but after. Let's wait after. That way, just playing it won't be a spoiler, because I'm seeing things here that would spoil what's coming in the DLC. So, okay, we'll play it, but probably after Control. Sounds good. Okay, so thanks for hanging with me this week, gang. It's always a pleasure to spend time with Decept. I always enjoy your company and a good conversation. It's been a while since we discussed game design, so I'm glad we got some of that in tonight. Hopefully the people working on Assassin's Creed Valhalla are listening to me and will fix the damn hunting mechanics. But, you know, probably not. Anyways, thanks for hanging around. It was fun. See you all next week. We're going to finish both DLCs and probably not start Control. I don't think we'll be able to cram all of that. And as I said, I don't want to wait, to start Control at the end of an evening. I want to make sure that as many people as possible know that I'm going to be playing Control at a specific time, because I want to make sure as many people as possible who wants to see it are there start to finish, because you will not want to miss a single moment. It is just that damn good. Pulp horror, not Cthulhu horror. Really? Wow, that's weird. Damn. Oh, 10 out of 10. Woo! I got perfect score from Void. Oh, yeah. All right, then. So, on that, wrapping up, thanks for coming. See you all next week for more Alan Wake. It was awesome. I love you all. Good night.